Good day, everyone. I'm Vidyasagar Munangi, a student of Ravensbourne University from MSc Project Management. Now, I'm going to dis- present my uh, presentation from module Managing Project Resources for the title of Rainbow and Royal Cuisine Restaurant. Starting with introduction, I'm going to discuss about how project management helps in designing designing and planning the multi-themed restaurant. And my basic concept is to create a restaurant with three different ambience, uh, creating three different seasons in the restaurant, like desert, snow, and tropical regions, and serving the food according to that theme. And coming to the objective, uh, the report will detailedly explain with the difficulties we faced while creating the project and a detailed cost estimation of the project and how material will be managed and other setbacks we faced. And let's go to the other slide. Yeah, project stages. Basically, there'll be three different stages in the project. Start with planning. In planning, mostly we'll choose what we have to do and how it has to go. We'll decide and enter the project in the planning stage, based on what we need, and the execution stage. Here, mostly the work starts and work is allocated to the different team members and different sections. And the last one is RBS, resource breakdown structure, project resource allocate, uh, showing as a more detailed description. You can see how it is separated in the below diagram, which is cost and skill and planning are in one side and the budgeting and people and materials on other side of the diagram. Mm, Coming to the next slide, here we can see the scenarios and different kinds of scenarios in budgeting. For example, I can say three different scenarios that I did in my cost estimation, like creating a reasonable cost estimation is an initiative phase. Then we need to create a optimistic and pessimistic estimations as well. Uh, the optimistic is the amount of risk and uncertainties as minimum as possible, and the pessimistic is the risk and uncertainty will be high. The in a worst case, we can use we can refer as a pessimistic, and in the lowest case, we can use as optimistic. So this is the different scenarios. And coming to the other slide, project resources monitoring. Mostly monitoring plays a key role in project management, which helps us to maintain the course without any deviations. For example, increasing cost or using more time than what we have. So by regular monitoring, we can maintain that uses of more resources like labor power or capital or other land, etc. There are different ways to monitor the project by different options we have. I mentioned in the below like Gantt chart, project budget, and you can see the candles how they can represent what amount of effort we are putting here. The next slide goes to end value analysis. Yeah, this is one of the important slide. how end value is shown. Uh, in a simple word, we can say uh, initially we planned in a budget value, and actually on site there would be some other cost that happens. Initially, I planned as a £10, but my cost was to £12. So by calculating the end value between these two is somewhat higher. So that's what you can see in this graph. How actual value is bottom of the line and the planned value is which is green shown in the middle. You can see the variation. The next slide is projected factor. There are there five different financial factors considered that we need to consider in a project. That is revenue and expense project expensive projections and cash flow statement, balance sheet, mm, which we can check whether the funds are increasing and our resources are increasing or reducing. We use financial software. For example, I used an Excel for this budgeting. So there are other softwares available in the market, and reviewing your forecast regularly, which, as I said earlier, it it could maintain the standard line by reviewing regularly. The next slide is scenarios and assumptions. As I discussed with you earlier, there are different kinds of scenarios, which is optimistic and pessimistic. There also be some key assumptions. Presence of customer base to support to the business and performance and fund activities. The next slide is projected resources and tasks, resources monitoring through resources list, timelines, and based on budget and direct and indirect cost. So we can mention the direct cost in the estimation, but indirect cost, for example, there might be an additional cost that we can't expect, that we can't create that, mention that cost in the beginning of the sheet. So we'll add some indirect costs to fulfill those needs. And the next one is cost breakdown, detailed cost analysis of labor, capital, and land resources. For example, for an entire project, certain amount of labor could be calculated, and entire them. For example, labor, we can assume that we are paying certain amount for the labor and the capital and the land resource, so we can break the structure and which amount we are putting for which resource, so we can calculate it easily. The last one is sorry, not the last. uh, and the next one is end value analysis and the performance analysis. As we discussed about the end value before, this is the in this we can see the performance value, a planned cost versus actual cost, comparing budgeting expenditures with the actual expenditure at the different delivery stages in the graph. As you can see, end value calculations like task level performance maintenance is done based on the budget and uh, presentation of completion. So one more thing, performance valuation can be shown by end value analysis, which is depend on the menu of project performance. So We'll get the performance value at the end by using the formula. You can see it in detail in my Excel sheet, which I shared in the report. And to be conclude, comprehensive analysis, the report gives us in-depth analysis of the resource management um, projections for the Royal and Rainbow Kitchen. Key key initiatives that I need to discuss is discovery of critical path method and milestones where we need to put more effort in the project and where to take certain tasks, and the outcome of this is improving revenue. So by creating this budget we can improve the revenue and achieve the missions in time without any delays, um, avoiding mitigating risks and reducing the cost finally. Yeah, that's all. These are the few references I took the content from. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to William.